guys, it's Jen here, and today we're going to do my Shop My Stash for September. Right now I'm in the process of test driving a lot of makeup in my collection. I'm kind of using this time to really see how I feel about stuff and use stuff I've kind of been shoving to the side a little bit. We're gonna bring them out to the forefront. Normally for Shop My Stash, what I do is I take you around through my collection and I kind of pick things out on the spot. Today we're gonna do it a little differently. I kind of already picked out my products. They're all sitting in front of me and I already started using them. And I also have like collection fatigue right now from making those like collection videos and just going through my stuff. I was getting tired of looking at my stuff. I don't know about you guys. Let's talk about what I picked out for September. This Z palette that I made maybe 2 years ago or something. And this is one of those palettes that I always bypass. Like your chocolate bar palette, I always kind of pass this by for that one, or like the Tartelette in Bloom or whatever, because you know, those are made, those are all set up nice, and this is just kind of like, not a janky throw together, but kind of a janky throw together. But that's all the more reason to pick this out, because I really need to understand like why I avoid this and if these colors even like work with my skin tone anymore, if I even like them. But as it turns out, in this palette I do have some favorites. So namely, I have these two Avon colors. My mom and I, when I was growing up, like that was like one of the first brands of makeup I ever wore. So I have an older duo here that I actually love. It's one of my favorite duos of eyeshadow ever. I know it doesn't look very impressive here, but I can't explain it. They look so like average, but like when I put them on there, they like light my eyes up in a way that not even my expensive eyeshadows do. Okay, so this is why we do Shop My Stash. We have to like relearn these things. Also, other favorite in here is this Ulta shade called Truffle. Again, doesn't look that exciting in the pan, but I always knew this was a favorite. So happy to bring that one out because I've been kind of ignoring it for other shadows. And that just happens when you have like a bigger collection. This little guy right here is a sample, a Lorac sample, and that one's called Serenity. I really thought I was kind of like, it's okay, but I mixed that with a different shadow this week and loved it. And here are just like some random like olive greenish, emerald green eyeshadows from Ulta that I'm still trying to decide like how I feel about those. And some really old Revlon shadows and another Ulta eyeshadow that this is one of those colors that like, it doesn't swatch nearly as pretty as it looks in the pan. It just looks kind of grayish, blackish type of appearance. And I would use that as either a liner or like a crease shade to blend with other things. But that's also another one that I'm trying to figure out if I like it or not. So yeah, this is what I'll be working with the next couple of weeks. These 3 Laura Geller pots here, or pans, are actually eyeliners. I mean, you can use them as shadows too. They don't have to be used like specifically as eyeliners, but they actually look really beautiful when applied wet. So I kind of have a feeling about applying things wet. Like to me, that's just like another job. Like I know I have like MAC Fix Plus and all that, but I don't use MAC Fix Plus. I just use water to wet my brush. And it just like feels like an extra step to have to like go to the bathroom, wet my brush, and then come back. It's like, but it's worth it for these. These are actually really, really nice. I was thinking about decluttering these, but I think I'm gonna keep them, guys. I think I like them enough to keep them. So no declutters there. This is kind of always on my dresser. This is just a regular Avon powder. I just decided to stick with one powder this time around because all those bulky powders were kind of like in the way, and I just decided to clear those out and keep this one out. So I'll just be sticking with that for this month. Oh, some blushes. I'm test driving a lot of blushes because I'm really trying to simplify my blush stash. I think before I said I had 24. So I'm trying to figure these out. I have here the Laura Geller blush in Tartufo. This one's okay. Like it's very natural looking on my skin tone. It's not really bright, so I really need to try this one again. An old NYX blush. This one is the shade Angel. I like this one. The only thing that kind of is weird about this, I hit pan, but it's like starting to chip off a little bit, which is strange, but it still works, which is good. I have this Tarte shade in Thankful, which I don't know about this one. Like I'm wearing it today. My thoughts on blushes are like they don't make as much of a statement to me as like eyeshadows and lipsticks. I feel like initially you do notice it, but I think throughout the day they kind of just I don't really care. Of course, if you pick the wrong blush, that will make a difference. And if you pick the right brush, it can really like brighten up your face and stuff. But seriously, like I don't know. I just don't think that having 24 blushes is necessary, especially considering the fact that I don't really notice them that much on my face throughout the day, unless it's like really not a good color. But these have all been okay so far. Still trying to decide on this one. Dallas as well. So this is more of like a muted kind of plum shade. These suit me a lot better than, say, a really corally pink type of blush like this. I much prefer this over this. But it depends, like, because there's also like a really bright pink blush that I have that looks really flattering. It just depends, but I prefer like ones like this a little bit more. I decided to keep out the Benefit Hula blush. I didn't feel like switching it out because I like how this looks on me at this time of year. And I don't really have too many bronzers, so I don't really feel like I need to switch out every single time. So I'm gonna keep this one in. And I also brought in this Clarins lip gloss. This is the Natural Lip Perfector, kind of like nude pink, like dark nude pink. And I've just kind of enjoyed using it like topped on top of other lip products or just by itself. So I do want to get more use out of this. It is a little bit more expensive than other lip glosses in my collection. So, and it is getting older, so I figured why not. Another lip product that I'm bringing in, the NYX round lipsticks. This one's called Perfect, and it's very creamy and has that like 90s type of vibe to it. That was kind of what I was looking for when I got this a couple years ago. And I don't know if I love this or not. I think the formula might be a little too slippery for me, and it's a bit, it's kind of fragranced too, which I'm not crazy about, but I want to see if I can like create a look with it over in the next couple weeks and maybe get some use out of it too, because this is also older in my collection and I kind of want to start, you know, either using it or getting rid of it or figuring out like where this stands for me. And it's a nice fall color too. Like I feel like I can really like pull this off for this season. I mean, you can wear this anytime you want, but for me, I feel like this is something I would wear more like in the fall, winter, like that. Makeup Forever Aqua Eyes eyeliner in the shade 6L. This is definitely getting older in my stash. This is a very, let me try to make that darker there. It is a very blackened purple, so it will really define my eyes. So maybe when I'm virtual teaching, kids will really be able to see my eyes through Zoom. So, yeah. It looks like I used up quite a bit of it already, so that's kind of good. So I want to see how much more of this I can pump out and also make a decision on this if I like it enough to keep or not. I decided to focus on the Lancome Monster Big mascara sample and see if I could finish this up. It's starting to dry out a little bit, so I think it's close to like the end, but this isn't too bad. It's like, I've enjoyed using it, but I can't remember like how this was in the beginning versus how it is now, because right now it's like pretty dry, or it's getting there. So I definitely want to finish this up. It is a decent mascara, but there are like, I'm not really in the market for expensive mascaras right now. So I want to try out the, what's it called? The Essence Lash Princess one that people love. That's like really cheap. So I want to try that. And then maybe I'll venture back into the expensive mascaras, but I can make the cheapies work pretty well. And a lot of them are really, really good. So why spend more? Why spend more? Okay. I'm changing the angle so the dots aren't distracting me. As much as I like Bare Minerals, I just feel like I want to kind of get rid of them if I can, if I really am not feeling them and there's too many dupes. So I'm trying out like these two shades, Queen Phyllis and Rock Crystal. They are both yellowish type of golden shades. Like this is, yellow doesn't sound too attractive, does it? But it's just like a very pretty golden shimmery shade. But I feel like aside from a highlighter on my skin tone, I don't really like these as like lid shades. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like they look too, it just looks weird. All right, I also am bringing out Star Violet by MAC, and this looks really, really nice in the crease for me at least. It looks a lot darker in the pan than it does going on. It's a lot more sheer. as you can see right there. So this looks really, really nice with that Lorac color I was talking about. Like this really does look really pretty with that. And I also have MAC Sketch, which looks like this. And I am hoping to use this as a liner, but I think I can also use this like deepen the crease shade, deep, or like as a crease shade or like outer V type of thing. So I'm bringing that one in. And this is definitely a lot darker than the other one. Yeah, I got a couple more like MAC colors that I'm test driving that I'm not sure, like I'm kind of on the fence. Like this is a really light purple MAC shade called Digit. It goes on pretty sheer. Sorry, I'm not trying to flip you guys off. It's really sheer, but yeah, you can kind of see it. It's an interesting color. It's a little bright. It's not really something that I typically go for, but that's kind of why I'm pulling it out. I just want to see if I even still like this anymore, because it is, you know, like bright colors like this. I kind of stay away from colors like this now because they just look too much like, look at my eyes, they are purple. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, which is fine. I like a neutral purple, more toned down kind of purple is fine. Like I'm into that, but this is like a little too like, it draws your attention a little bit more. So we'll see how I feel about that. And I have like some silvery type of grayish purpley shades. This one is Electra by MAC, and this one is Crystal. This one's a little bit more sheer, so I could actually, you know what, I'm wearing that today on my lid. Still trying to decide if I'm feeling it. I don't know if I like it with this lip color, but it's all right. And this one is definitely, again, trying not to flip you off. It's like a bluish silvery color, so we'll see how I do with that. I'm not really a huge fan of like silver, but like these types of silvers, but you never know, because I've played around with another silver in my collection and actually look kind of nice, so we'll see. And I'm still using Soft Ochre, MAC Soft Ochre, as an eye base, so that stays out on my dresser. I do have other makeup on my dresser. My Project Pan stuff's on there. These two foundations that I'm working on, now that the Clinique one is finished, I can start using this again, and the CoverGirl and Olay Simply Ageless foundation. I like both of these. I was kind of unsure because I hadn't used them in a while because I was trying to finish up the Clinique one, but these two are actually not bad. So we're going to continue using these. And the brow product that I'm choosing to focus on is the Anastasia Dip Brow in Chocolate, and it looks like that. This one doesn't dye, like it's hard to use this off, but that could be a good thing because it is a little bit more expensive, and I like it. I just feel like you have to be careful with how much of this you put on. Like it can go on really heavy, and I'm not really into like really boxy brows, so just like a little bit goes a long way. So I'm excited to get more use out of this because I've kind of been ignoring this for a while, so time to pull it back out. That's a really quick update, guys. Those are the products that I will be using mainly throughout the month of September. Please give this video a like and a subscribe. That would mean a lot to me, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.